I would like you to make a list of all the ways in which you don't love yourself. It could be your physical appearance. It could be your personality. It could be moral failings. It could be stuff you've done in the past. It could be the way you treat other people. Could be your health condition that you have, whatever. All the ways you don't love yourself. Make a long list, get them all out of your system on this piece of paper. And then at the end of that, decide to love all of that. Embrace all of that as what reality is. This is what you are. Of course, you're a lot more than just that, but you are that too, so embrace that. And as you're trying that, you're going to struggle. Notice that there's a struggle. Notice it's hard. Notice that the ego in you resists accepting all that. Because you want to be some sort of ideal self. You want to be the way you imagine yourself on the silver screen in a Hollywood movie. That's what isn't. That's untruth. You see why truth and love have to go hand in hand? Because for something to be true, it has to be exactly the way that it is and not some other way that you want it to be or imagine it to be. So maybe you imagine that I shouldn't say the word fuck, or maybe you imagine I shouldn't talk about rape, or maybe you imagine that Leo should have more hair, or maybe you imagine that Leo should have a smaller nose, or maybe you imagine that Leo should look younger or older or do his beard different or whatever you imagine. All of that is not true. What's true is exactly what's here right now. This is what I am. Like it or not. And there's only two options. We can either accept it or we can reject it. If we reject it, we cut ourselves off from ourselves. Do you see the insanity of rejecting it? To reject any part of reality is literally insanity. You are saying that what is true is untrue, and you are saying what is untrue is true. And that is the very definition of what I call devilry. That's how the devil is born. By rejecting the truth for a fantasy. And the reason that happens is because the devil can't stomach the truth exactly as it is. He needs it to be something else. And from that, all evil manifests. From untruth. Evil is untruth. Evil is self-denial. Lack of self-love. Which is why the only ultimate solution to evil is a reunion, a reintegration of all of your shadows, and total self-love. That's you coming home. That's what you've always been. That was the truth. It's just that the truth is so big it got disconnected from itself, confused itself with falsehood. But eventually it came home. The truth cannot not love itself. It must love itself. Otherwise, it's not true. It's false. And that is how love and truth are actually identical at a metaphysical, existential level. And that is why there is no full awakening without the realization of love. If you think you're awake or enlightened and you haven't realized love, you haven't fully realized truth. You've only got one side of the coin. You think you have truth, but you're missing the love. And conversely, if you are an emotional person and you find it easy to love people, to love animals, to love children, and you're this sort of lovey-dovey type, yet your whole life, you've been loving, maybe this probably is more appropriate to women or to more feminine-leaning men. Women tend to be more lovey-dovey. And that tends to be their approach to spirituality. It's like, Leo, I don't like talking about truth. Truth is so bleak and harsh and brutal. Love. Love is what I want. I want more love in my life. I want the spiritual path towards awakening through love. I don't really care about the truth. Leo, why should I care about the truth? It's just some philosophical minutia, or it's some sort of technical thing, this truth that you keep talking about. I don't care about it. I just want love. But what you're failing to realize is that love is truth. Your love is incomplete until you realize that the thing you love the most is the truth. Otherwise, what are you loving? If you're not loving the truth, you're loving falsehood, which makes you a devil. And your love is divided. It's not total. Truth and love are one. Don't forget it. Learning self-love is the point of human life. If you loved yourself completely, you would have no more problems left in your life. Let me repeat that again. If you love yourself completely, you would have no more problems in your life. This is true. Really think about that. Contemplate that one. Is it true? And if it is, what does that mean? What should you do about it?